this is Chris Jericho from Fozzy, and you're watching Eric live on the air, and Eric is sexy, isn't he? Just look at him. Put a close-up on him and just pause it. Just watch his maximum sexosity right there.
I am here with the one and only, I don't know, what do you want to go by when it comes to Fozzy? You want to be Y2J, you want to be Chris Jericho?
Just call me what you want, just don't call me late for dinner. Bing, boom, shh.
But, so we're here on Uproar, and the lead singer Fozzy is doing very, very well, obviously, that you're on this tour.
Thank you.
And you're really separating yourself from the wrestler Chris Jericho and, you know, lead singer of Fozzy. So, how are you doing that? That you're doing it so well to be able to take who you were in WWE and still are.
Yeah, it's not really who it's like. It all boils down to when I was a kid. I had two dreams. I wanted to be in a rock band. And I wanted to be a wrestler. And I've been playing in bands since I was 12 years old. All throughout high school, you know, did the high school dances, did the parties, played the bars, and all that sort of stuff. And then started getting to went to Calgary to start training for wrestling. Kind of had to stop playing in a band for a while. But then I always still wanted to get back into music, and it's always been part of who I am. Two passions, two different dreams. So when we started Fozzy, there was always two separate guys there. You know, I was never one and the same. It's like if you're playing a part, and if you're an actor, you play a lot of different parts and play a lot of different roles. It's still you, but when it comes time to, you know, if you're you know, Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones, or Harrison Ford playing Han Solo, or Harrison Ford playing the President, or whatever, you're still the same guy, but you're playing different roles and doing it well. And that's kind of how I do it. I mean, they're two separate entities, you know, as it has to be.
Yeah.
This is not some kind of a gimmick or a vanity project where I just woke up one day and said, I want to be in a band. I'll be playing in a band 10 years from now, 20 years from now. I was playing in a band 10 years ago. So it's just, I love doing it, and I have a passion for it. And now that the band has grown, has so much momentum behind us to where we're actually here on Uproar with the #1 or new artist record in the country on Billboard. It's amazing to see that the dream is coming true, or has come true, and it's building and building and building the same way that you know, the other dream did as well.
Saying that there are two different worlds is completely true. A lot of the same fans.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of fans that got into Fozzy through WWE, and a lot of fans that got into WWE through Fozzy. So that's another element. There's a lot of Chris Jericho fans that trust what I'm doing, because anything I put my name to, I give 100% and try and make it great. Not every time does that work, but 9 times out of 10 it does, whether it be with my band, or with my matches, or with my books, my radio show, whatever it might be. So people trust me and know, well, if Jericho's doing this, it has to be good, you know, or at least he's giving us 1,000% to make it good.
Yeah. Which one do you think gives you the most nerves but excitement at the same time?
I mean, both. Anytime you perform live in front of a crowd, you have to have that nervous energy.
Yeah.
And no matter how long you've been doing it for. I mean, like I said, we've been playing with this band for 13 years. Still always get nervous in a good way.
Yeah.
And wrestling for 22 years, still get nervous in a good way. I'm not nervous where, oh my God, I can't do it, but nervous like, oh man, I want this to be good and I want it to go well. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. That's what it's like when you perform live.
Yeah.
Sometimes all the stars align, and it's just the kick-ass best show you can have. And other times there's issues and problems and things that go down, and it might not be the greatest show, but you still have to make sure that people have a good time. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. What do you think are your fondest memories from the both of them? Not together, but you know.
That's a pretty expansive question. It's like I've written 2 books of fond memories, you know. But I mean, just they boil down to the same thing. I've gotten to do what I love to do, what I always wanted to do, and get to travel the world and get paid to do it. You know, so I mean, that's kind of I'm very fortunate that way, and not just that I had this one crazy dream, but I had 2 crazy dreams and got to, you know, feel the benefits and the, you know, and the good things about both.
Yeah.
You know, and some people never experience that once. I got to experience it twice. I'm very fortunate.
Well, you are a award-winning author. You obviously have your wrestling career, which was, has always been, the top. Music, you're right now. You said you're number one.
Number one on the Billboard charts for the Heat Seeker chart. Yeah.
You've been on TV. You've done dancing, which I was rooting for you. But
thanks, man. That was amazing too. To be able to last 7 weeks on that was insane as well. Once again, just because I put all my effort into it.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to do with your career? Well, with another career, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's all the same career. I'm in show business. Yeah. That's what I do. I'm an entertainer. There's a lot of different ways to do that. I'm almost like an old vaudevillian performer. You act, you sing, you dance, you do comedy, whatever it is. And I love doing what I do. And when more opportunities come up, I'd love to do more acting. I'd love to host another game show. I enjoyed doing the Downfall show that I did. But as long as it all jives with what's going on with Fozzy, this is our priority right now, and will be for as long as this momentum continues to build and build and build. And I still love doing other things, and I will do other things, but it has to all fit around the schedule. And it's been this way since 2009 when we did the Chase the Grail record. That's why I went back to the WWE in January, was because we were recording Sin and Bones, and there was like an 8-month period where as a band, you're just doing the record.
Yeah. And
for me, as the singer, I record my vocals in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're done.
Yeah.
So I had 8 months to kill, basically, and to fill. And people keep asking me, when are you coming back to WWE? And when are you going to come back? And I thought, well, I'll go back. I want to go back, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. And the fans obviously want to see it. So that's why I did it. Yeah. Knowing that as soon as this time came around, when the record came out, when Uproar started, that I'd be done.
Well, there are two things that I thought of from that answer. I think a perfect fit for you guys, it would have to do with Fozzy, and also you as an entertainer would be Saturday Night Live. I think it would be such a great fit for you, because you are definitely a comedian when it comes to wrestling. I know you can't just be funny because the lines are good.
Yeah, well, and the lines are all mine. You know what I mean? But yeah, I did improv with the Groundlings for a year, and the Groundlings is where Will Ferrell came from, and Phil Hartman and Kristen Wiig, some of the greatest comedians ever that ended up on Saturday Night Live. So that's why when we did the MacGruber movie, that scene that I had, which a lot of people love and say is one of the most memorable scenes in the movie, it was all improv. Just me and Will Forte just started going at it. And I was actually talking to Vince around that time, like, you gotta call Lorne Michaels and see if I can do Saturday Night Live. And I would love to do that. That's another list on the dreams, to try and get that. That's kind of a hard nut to crack, but I think I would kill it on that show, just because you have to have the right attitude of just not caring.
Yeah.
Just total commitment. And when I did Jimmy Fallon, I did it last time. I did the Jean-Claude Van Damme song. If you ever saw that, if you haven't, you got to Google it. It's so ridiculously funny. I've done the stuff on when I did the Thor thing on Attack of the Show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just playing characters, So, and once again, you just have to commit to it and believe in it. And when you do that, it's usually pretty funny.
If you had your longer hair, you would have been a perfect fit for Thor.
Yeah, I think Hemsworth has a wig too, so
does he?
I think so.
I thought you see him out in public with the long hair, so I thought it would just.
What did I see last night? He was in Red Dawn. I saw a preview for it. He had short hair. So.
Maybe go to
discussing Chris Hemsworth's hair length right here, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do. Absolutely.
Well, you said you have to weigh a lot of different things. You have to weigh being a professional wrestler, a rocker, a husband, a father, an author. How do you
Well, like I said, you just can't do them all at the same time.
Hopefully.
Right now it's all concentrated on Fozzy, and when we're touring, we tour. This tour is 6 weeks. There's breaks in the schedule for a couple days. I'll fly home for those 2 days, break it up a bit, and then when we're off, when I'm at home, I do nothing but family stuff.
Yeah.
And it's starting to get to the time where maybe I have to start thinking about writing the next book as well. But I mean, that's something you could do maybe on a show day like today. There's a lot of time, a lot of interview time before the show, but after the show, you're pretty much off. But that takes a lot of commitment as well. So the secret to doing it is you just can't do it all at once. You got to just one thing at a time. And families, and when I'm at home, it's all family all the time. That's how I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
Some dads have to get up at 7 and come home at 7. When I'm at home, I just stay home all day and get my kids ready for school and make them lunch and take them to school and pick them up after school and all that sort of stuff. That's how you have to do it.
When it comes to Fozzy, a lot of people, they relate your music. It's almost like a horror music at times, like with because you've been in horror movies, and then like the Itsy Bitsy Spider theme.
Yeah.
Creepy as all hell.
Yeah, well, leading into the spider in my mouth, which is a total creepy thought. You know, I've always been attracted to that side. You know, and I love horror movies, and I love those type of songs. On Sin and Bones, we try to make it a little bit more, keep everything with the same tone, very dark vibe, but also have some more relationship type lyrics. Inside My Head is like that, Shine Forever is that way. But yet you still have, Blood Happens, which is about getting in a fight, getting your ass kicked, or Storm the Beaches, which is about D-Day, Dark Passenger, which is based on the Dexter song, or Dexter show. So yeah, I definitely always have those type of thoughts and feelings behind it, because it's interesting to me.
Yeah.
I like cool songs. To me, always start with a song title, and then working backwards from there. And that's always kind of been the way I've liked. When I used to get new records from my favorite bands, I'd look on the back, and certain song titles would stand out, and I'd be really interested in those songs before I even heard the record. So I want all of my songs, or the majority, to be titles where people will go, wow, that's interesting. And then sometimes, like Inside My Head was originally titled Sabotage Me, but the chorus is Inside My Head, so why force it? Just leave it as that. You don't want to get too cute for your own good sometimes.
You write the titles of the songs, and then you come up with all the lyrics?
Yeah. Like if I see an interesting phrase or something, I'll write it down. The best invention is this little yellow pad that you have on here.
Okay.
And you kind of just write the song titles. So I have all of the ones written down for the next record already, just certain phrases that will come up. These are all song title ideas. You can see them all. So, and that's why, like when I said Spider in My Mouth, for instance, I read that in a Stephen King short story years ago. I don't remember which one it was, but it was like he couldn't have been more disgusted if he would have woken up with a spider in his mouth. I thought, oh man, that's such a gross image.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, and then when I started, I woke up with a spider in my mouth and a cockroach in my head. Okay, there's your first two lines. Go from there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, or like, Storm the Beaches. I just thought that was a cool title, and I knew exactly what it had to be, an epic song about D-Day.
Yeah.
Blood Happens, and obviously it's taken from, Shit Happens. Just kind of thought that was cool. So you just kind of get ideas and write them down, and then just work backwards from there, like I said.
I have some more entertaining questions, because people always like to be entertaining, and you're entertaining. So.
Thank you. I just smacked my gum pretty loud too, right?
Crap!
Shit. Yeah, it kind of hurt. Wow. I was unmiked too.
That was. I want to know what that's going to sound like later. Describe the worst date you've ever been on.
Worst date?
Yeah.
Wow, I would have to go back a long way.
You're married now, so I hope you're not going on dates.
Yeah, go on dates with guys now. I don't know. Bad dates is like, you can always tell, like, a bad date is from the moment that you first meet up. Like a girl will tell you within the first 5 minutes if you're gonna go to the next step or not.
Yeah.
Just from the way she talks, the way she acts, the way she flirts. But once in a while, you'll get somebody who you think maybe it'll work out better. And I remember I was in San Francisco. I took this girl on a date, and we went to a wax museum. And in the wax museum was Silence of the Lambs display. And if you remember that scene, it's the Silence of the Lambs display where they're walking through the prison hallway, and all the crazy freaks are like over there, and like the guy jacks off and throws it on her, and the guys are screaming, and the one guy says, "I can smell your pussy." And as we're walking down the hallway, I said that to the girl. I said, "I can smell your pussy." And she had never seen Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, wow.
So she didn't know what I was talking about, and there's no way to dig yourself out of that hole, ladies and gentlemen. Done. You're done. You could have bought a diamond ring at that point, and you're finished. So, yeah, it wasn't necessarily the worst date, but it was the worst line that wasn't trying to be a line that just killed it. I was done. End of story. No action.
No, that's for sure. That's a pretty big hole to.
Yeah, you can't get out of that one.
What are the 3 essentials you have to bring with you on tour?
iPod. I always play music. So I'm just you guys waiting for the next interview.
No problem.
Telling him to wait because I'm finishing this interview. See how it is for you guys.
Thank you.
You got to bring your iPod with a speaker. I got a little speaker that you put in there. Gotta have your toiletry bag. 'Cause it's like camping. You gotta find the shower every day wherever you go. And then also too, the other one is a little DVD player with my yoga routine on it, because you gotta work out every day outside in the parking lot. So as long as I can work out and have a shower and have my music, I'm easy going. And food, you gotta stock up with food too. I boiled a bunch of eggs in the teapot yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's an old trick from my Japan days.
Cats or dogs?
I have to choose one I would rather.
Would you rather have?
Oh, dog.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Monster or Rockstar?
Rockstar.
Cute or sexy?
Sexy.
Baseball or basketball?
Hockey.
Figured you were gonna go there. Ketchup or mustard?
Ketchup.
Chocolate or vanilla?
I like vanilla, man.
Stephen Colbert or Jon Stewart?
Neither.
Piercings or tattoos?
Tattoos.
Dunkin' or Starbucks?
Donut or Starbucks?
Dunkin' or Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Star Wars.
Nice. One night stands or relationships?
Depends on kind of just good sex, whichever way you want it.
Alright. Batman or Spider-Man?
Batman, dude.
Salty or sweet?
Salty.
Tits or ass?
I'm an ass man, all the way.
Alright.
Anybody can buy a pair of tits, but you got to be born with a nice ass.
It's true. Well, no, Kim Kardashian.
I know, but you can always tell it doesn't count.
No. Would you rather be blind or deaf?
Wow. That's a hard one, man.
I feel like as a musician, you'd probably want to be blind because you can hear everything.
Yeah, there's no such thing as deaf musicians, right? I think Beethoven was deaf.
Beethoven was deaf.
Yeah.
I mean, he never knew if he sounded good or not. He could feel it, though.
Yeah, I'll go for the deaf because I'd rather see, and then I don't know. I'd rather even not answer that because someday something will happen. Like, oh, that motherfucker. He asked me what I wanted to be, and now that's what I am.
Yeah.
So let's just say healthy.
Okay.
If anything, I can lose my sense of taste. How does that sound?
Nice. All right.
Okay.
Hamburgers or hot dogs?
Hamburger.
TV or movies?
Movie.
Blondes or brunettes?
Blondes.
Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
Total Backstreet. No.
But Justin Timberlake was an NSYNC.
I know.
ESP.
I'm trying to decide. Last year when I did Dance to the Stars, it was New Kids on the Block and Backstreet Boys were there.
They're still doing that.
And I'm going for the New Kids, man. Johnny
New
Wahlberg
Kids.
like a motherfucker.
And then clubs or bars?
Pubs.
And then last one, boxers or briefs?
Neither.
Alright. Well, thank you very much for your time. I know you got to do something else, but I'll be looking for you on tour.
Hold on.
I don't even know how you do that. Hold on.
That's all I can do. All right, guys. Thanks for being here.